Let's revisit the Mockingbird Stroller. Now, this is the latest edition in 2022 with a couple add-ons, including that long-awaited ride-along board, which we're gonna dive into. But I wanna lead off by discussing this Mockingbird, which is the same exact stroller that I reviewed about 3 years ago. And I wanna give you a look at how it's still holding up and answer if, after a few years of use, is it worth it? If you're an expectant dad, you should check out Father Figured. It's a pregnancy course that we made just for guys, and it's linked down below. Now, Mockingbird has been a long-time partner of mine, and I wanna say that this isn't a paid or sponsored video, right? I'm just making this to share my experience since it's been a couple of years of using the stroller, and I wanna answer 2 questions that I still get to this day. And they are, 1, is it a good stroller? And 2, do you still use it? For the first question, after 3 years, I can tell you that it's been a great stroller. We got a lot of use out of it from infant to toddler. It's traveled with us, it's taken hits of all kinds, and it still pushes well. I know guys like Jimmy Conover who have mentioned a bit of warping and wear in the front tires after a lot of usage on grass, which the service team, they helped them out really quick. But yeah, for me, it's been a perfectly fine stroller. You can always go back to my reviews to see a lot of the highlights there, but here are some notes that I have noticed over time. So first I'm gonna hit on the canopy. I initially went with the sky blue colorway, which as you can tell, has gotten dirty. Unfortunately, just lighter color fabrics, they just show more wear over time and you can definitely see it. Also, scratches are somewhat visible throughout the entire stroller, especially if you're going with that all black frame. Another thing with the canopy that I thought was cool initially is that magnetic cover to offer full coverage. Over time, that kind of got annoying. I really didn't like it, but the newer models, they updated the canopy to expand out for more coverage like we're seeing with other brands, so great to see that. The fold isn't as slim as I'd like. It's fine, but it is still pretty bulky in comparison to the tighter collapse of something like the UPPAbaby Cruise. The wheels are great for like normal surfaces, but once you start hitting grass and dirt paths, it's not nearly as smooth as other options. It struggles a little bit more, and just in general, the push does feel a little bit heavier. But still, in comparison to like the UPPAbabys and Nunas and Bugaboos of the world, Mockingbird is offered at a much lower price point, and while the materials may not be as good or the resale value might not be as high, it still delivers on the core function of being a great stroller despite some of the shortcomings that I just mentioned. It really is, it's a solid buy. Now, if you really want to find a bad review on something, you're going to find a bad review. Like reading through some of those negative experiences that I've seen with Mockingbird, really I can't expound on some of those things because I just haven't experienced them myself, but I wouldn't like dismiss them entirely. I certainly think that there's validity there, but as a whole, I'd say a majority of people would agree and say that, Mockingbird really is a great one and done stroller to invest in. Expectant parents, they often ask like, is it worth it to get a Cruise, Vista, Mix, Demi, all that kind of stuff. And personally, I'm a stroller snob, so I would say yes, it is worth it. But I've learned that a majority of parents out there that are watching these types of videos, they don't think that those subtleties that make a premium stroller better are worth the added cost, because those improvements like, a better fold or better materials, they're what I said, they're subtle. So from what I've seen, it's not enough to justify an added $300-400 markup, which has made brands like Mockingbird, Colugo, Evenflow look so much more appealing. Good stroller, good price, gets the job done, that's all I need. Now, while the Mockingbird isn't like at a premium high-end price tag, it's not like ultra budget either down here. And it's somewhere in the middle. But even after the price increases that they had to make because of the supply chain disruptions that we've seen throughout like all sectors, I think you're still getting amazing value out of this. And by the way, if you are interested in buying Mockingbird, I do have a link down below. Buying through that link helps support this channel, so please consider doing that. Thank you. Now on to the second question. Andrew, do you still use the Mockingbird? And for that, yes and no. Our oldest, he grew out of it over a year ago, and our youngest, who's coming up on 3, he gets in strollers very sparingly just because he'd rather walk, and he kind of hit that height limit a little bit earlier. We are expecting our 3rd though. We're very excited about that, and we're probably gonna have the same approach as last time, have the UPPAbaby Vista in my wife's car, Mockingbird in my car, and we're just gonna do a little timeshare and use them as needed. Off topic though, Silver Cross does have some cool stuff. There are a couple of different brands. They're rolling out some new things in 2022, so we're probably gonna be using those. Not because they're better than Mockingbird, but just because I have to make content for this channel. So with those questions out of the way, I do want to highlight Mockingbird's new release, which is their ride along board. It's something that a lot of parents have been wanting for a long time. Plenty of brands have these add-ons, but Mockingbird, they've got a different execution to theirs. So when you buy the board, it comes with like this collar that can snap onto the inside of the wheel. That collar can basically stay there forever, doesn't really get in the way of the fold. And when it comes time to attach the board, it's super easy, just kind of clips onto the back of that collar. And then from there, your little can just hop on and off whenever they want. It's pretty sweet deal. And another cool feature that it actually comes with is a seat. So you can pop off that cap, install the seat, and then from there they can sit or stand on the board depending on their preference. But either way, it's nice that it has both of those options for you. Now, unlike other boards that attach directly to the rear, Mockingbird's is off to the side, which kind of solves the problem a lot of parents complain about, which is just the difficulty of trying to walk while your child is directly in front of you on the ride-along board. You tend to, hunch forward a little bit to keep your feet from clipping the back of the board, and that was especially evident with the Up-A-Baby piggyback. Because this board is off to the side, it actually makes it a lot easier to walk, but I will say that you do lose a little bit of space on the handlebar, because the only natural space for kids to like cling on to is the handlebar above them, which forces you to either awkwardly go like around their head or just scoot to the side a bit and share the handlebar space. When the board is not in use, you can just lift the board up and use the clip attachment that it comes with to kind of lock it into position. Personally, that's not my favorite execution of that. I do like the piggybacks option where it can just kind of snap up and then you can raise it up and down as needed. But it doesn't really matter though, because when I'm not using it, I just take it off altogether and throw it in the basket or just keep it in my car. Overall though, I think this is a really cool pickup. It's just the latest addition to a growing array of add-ons that you can pick and choose from. But I do want to note that older models of the Mockingbird, they cannot accommodate that collar because they redesigned the brake for newer models. So if you're a legacy owner or secondhand owner of an older model Mockingbird, you got to keep that in mind. So to round it out, that ride-along board makes it so that single strollers can support up to 2 kids and doubles can support up to 3. And that leads me to a question for all you parents out there who already bought a stroller in the past. If you were to do it again, would you spend up for a double stroller or would you just stick with a single? Because this is a debate that I've heard a lot. We cover it in our father figure course a little bit. But honestly, I don't know that you need a double. Both options are available. Mockingbird's got the single and the double for you. But comment down below your thoughts on that, as well as any positive or negative experiences with Mockingbird, because we want to hear it all. Hearing those thoughts is going to help parents with their buying decision. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button down there. It looks like a thumbs up. For more videos and reviews for new parents, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video and come back for the next one. God bless. Later.